Hi, I'm Izzy and I'm a first year undergraduate student studying human geography. This is my presentation on what it's like to be a student in Reading. So first of all, getting settled in. Once all unpacked, I started getting to know my flatmates straight away. We had a group chat for our entire accommodation, which was so helpful for getting to know people quickly. During Freshers Week, people would post on the chat something like, anyone fancy going into town or to the pub? Then we'd organise a time to meet at the entrance and all go out together, even though we'd never even met before. The geography department also put on welcome events during Freshers Week, so we had the chance to meet people from our course in person and get to explore the campus. There were loads of online sessions from all different departments, for example, study abroad, careers, finance, and that was a really great way to start feeling like a university student. I also met my personal tutor during Freshers Week, and I had to choose my optional modules for first year within the first week or so. I went to a drop-in session run by the geography department, and they advised me on what modules work well together so my workload would be manageable. I was quite pleasantly surprised by the range of modules. I chose modules from a range of disciplines such as marketing, management, international development, languages, and there were so many more to choose from. I was also introduced to my STAR mentor, who's a student from your course in their second or third year of study, who you can reach out to for any advice. Mine is called Ollie, and he was really useful in Freshers Week for the basic questions that aren't spoken about so much in introduction talks. For example, how many folders will I need, or how do you take notes well for this course? I was so busy with various talks and sessions during the day and socialising in the evenings that I didn't even have the time to feel lonely or miss home. I started to get to know campus pretty quickly. RUSU has a lot more than I expected. I thought it was just a bar and cafe and a central building for all societies and student activities. I was excited to see a bagel shop, a Korean food store, bookstore, Pearl's bubble tea, hairdressers, and more. RUSU is also home to a nightclub called 360, which is one of the best student venues in Reading, and Mojo's, which is a bar that serves pub-style food and drinks. During Freshers, RUSU hosted plenty of events which were great fun, such as VK nights, themed parties, British Bake Off, bingo, and more. These all have a really nice atmosphere because it's mostly students, and so there's a lovely community feel. On campus, I soon discovered just how many eating and drinking venues there are. My favourite is Park Bar because it's perfect for a casual social evening. I definitely recommend the Library Cafe. The food is amazing. They sell everything from sushi to paninis and from salads to waffles. It's ideal for a study break. Some buildings even have their own cafes, such as Ita Agriculture or Henley Business School Cafe. Sports Park is our campus gym. I don't personally use it, however you can see from the screen just how many facilities there are. The rates depend on what plan you choose, but it ranges from £16 to £28. My friends love it because it's mostly students in there, and similar to the eating and drinking facilities, it's a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. At first, the library might not sound like the most exciting place on campus, however I've ended up loving it there. It's open 24/7 and there are loads of different spaces to choose from. The access to online resources is also great. At first, I wasn't too keen on the idea of reading books online, however the online access has proved itself to be so useful and much easier to navigate. Rather than searching through rows of books and articles to find something, you can just search keywords online and read articles or books from your room. If you do want to stick to reading physical copies, the online access is still useful because you can type in the keywords to find what will be useful and then place hold on them to collect in person. The university provides a whole range of student support services, which can be seen on the screen. I quite regularly have chats with Alex, who's the SAGE's placement coordinator from the Careers Service. Even though I'm in no rush to sort a placement, she helps me to explore my options and start building up my CV. The Careers Service put on loads of webinars that are insightful. Some of the talks I've been to include getting started with LinkedIn, value of a placement year, and how to find a paid internship. I use the study advice team very often as well. When feeling stressed, I book appointments to get me back on track. They also have loads of guides and tutorials, which have really helped me get used to doing assignments to a university standard. So a bit more about what it's like to live on campus. Campus is an ideal size. It's big enough that it's got lots to do and many different places to explore. However, you can still walk to friends' halls or to lecture theatres within about 25 minutes. The open space is lovely, especially now that the weather is getting better. Everyone has been making the most of being able to sit on the grass and have a drink or a picnic. An important point to mention is that I feel safe on campus. There's been a lot of conversation recently about walking home safely at night, and I feel confident in saying that it's not really been a concern of mine since living at university. I'm happy to walk from my halls to Rusu or Park Bar at night. I find that all universities say we have every kind of society on offer, and if not, then you can make your own. While this is true to Reading, what's unique here is how inclusive the societies are. You can join something that you have no experience in and everyone will make you feel so welcome. I joined cheerleading, music, tap and geography society, better known as JogSoc. Definitely join an academic society if your course or department has one. It's not as nerdy as it sounds because they're just social societies that organise events, nights out and trips, which are even sometimes abroad. They're a great way to get to know people on your course. Despite having everything you might need on campus, it's not a bubble and being a student in Reading itself is fun. The town centre is a great size. I was worried that moving from Cardiff I would find Reading too small, however the centres are really similar and there is just as much to do here as well. The transport links in Reading are also really handy. There are direct buses into town that stop on campus and run regularly. You can also walk into town if you fancy a bit of exercise. I usually walk to a big supermarket in town and then take the bus back rather than carrying all of my shopping. The station in Reading is also really useful, especially coming from South Wales. I take the train to visit home, which costs between £25 and £40 return with a rail card, and it goes direct to Cardiff Central and many other towns and cities in South Wales. It also only takes about an hour and a half. The train also goes directly into London, which is great if you fancy exploring the capital for a day or even a weekend trip. Reading has all the main high street stores and restaurants, as well as independent ones. The nightlife is also amazing, with similar bars to Cardiff and many other town and city centres across the UK. I also spent a lot of my time at the Abbey Ruins, as it's next to Forbury Gardens. I often go there for a walk. As much as Reading is great fun, it's also a really historical place to live. Thanks for listening, and I hope this has been useful in providing a glimpse of what life is like as a student in Reading.